obviously we had a nice week of practice. We're going to find out. It should be a great atmosphere, I guess, at Heinz Field without fans. But our kids are excited to get back rolling again and get into week 3 again. We're blessed to be able to play again, and knock on wood, everything goes good as we continue to go into the weekend. So happy with practice, happy with where we are after a Thursday practice, and looking forward to this next game against Louisville, a talented team, as you guys know.
Pat, Florida State is going to play without Coach Norvell this week. He tested positive, and he's being held out. Have you talked to your coaching staff or made any kind of plans for what you'd have to do if you had to miss a game?
Yeah, my wife would be the interim head coach, so I can get her out of the house so I can sit at home. No, I mean, we've had conversations. Yeah, we won't get into that until we've got a plan of what to do, and for every position, if Coach Bates is down, who goes in, what happens with Whipple. So we've got a plan. What happens if he goes down? So there's a plan of a plan of a plan that we've kind of put in place back months ago. But we'll deal with that when we get to it. But our guys, we got a great staff. I mean, Randy Bates does an incredible job on defense. He makes every call. So if I went down, it'd be the easy part. It's if Bates went down or Whipple went down is where you'd have a problem. They wouldn't even miss me on game day anymore. We got the thing running so smoothly right now that they wouldn't even miss me.
Pat, there's been a lot of talk this week about Louisville's speed, but I was wondering what you feel in that regard with your pass catchers. Do they give the kind of look you want to your defensive backs as far as speed goes? And you're on secondary. Is there enough speed there too?
Jerry, that's why we play the games. Okay, that's why we play the games. We're going to find out. But we're not slow. Okay. And they're really fast. So, we'll take our untalented, slow guys to Heinz Field, and we'll try to, maybe we'll give them a little extra Gatorade before the game. Try to, somehow maybe we'll have a chance to be in the game at some point. But we'll take our no-name guys with no speed into the game and find out what we got. That's why we play the games to find out. They're really fast. They're quick. They look really good. And we'll find out what the Panthers got Saturday at noon.
Pat, a lot of teams, when they're facing a mobile quarterback like Malik Cunningham, will throw in, on their scout team, someone who's mobile at the quarterback position. What kind of stuff have you guys done to prepare for that? Have you changed up how you've organized your scout team against your defense so that they're ready for that kind of play?
Yeah, we'll kind of mix it up, just to put an athlete back there and then put a guy that can really throw it because he can do both. He's got a great arm. He's got a quick release. He gets rid of the ball. He knows where to go with the ball. So, obviously, we've got quarterbacks that can throw the ball. And then we used Will Gibson, who did an outstanding job. He loves it. He was begging to play quarterback. He did a great job. Anytime we need an athletic quarterback, we know we found one. Not only that can do it, but that wants to do it. So, Will Gibson, he'd be my pick for the rock of the week for next week, just based on everything he did, just trying to, that's if we shut him down, then Will Gibson works. So Will did a tremendous job. And, this is really Will Gibson's first year. I mean, he's a young guy, but last year he didn't get to do any, scout team or rocks periods because he was injured all year. So this is his first opportunity really to show what he's got. And it's going to make him a better football player, having that opportunity to do that. So, so he's given us a great look this week.
You only took a few shots downfield last week, I think 3 or 4, 20-plus yards. Are you looking to kind of stretch the defense a little and go deep to guys like Addison and Barden?
Well, we'd like to, but our guys are slow. So, it's hard to push you deep when you're slow. So, so we got to be careful. It's throwing it down the field to slow people like Kelly's running down the field, on the right side at the X. We got, Allen running at the Z. It's hard to get it down the field. We're going to take what they give us. Okay. We're going to take what they give us. If you looked at Syracuse defense, they were really good in the back end and they didn't give us much opportunity. I told you, it was a nice one to Jordan Addison, which if we had the ball at our own 2-yard line, that would have been a 98-yard, reception. And we had another opportunity where it would have been a touchdown as well, but we just didn't throw to him. He was wide open. So you take your opportunities. You know what you're going to get. That's coach's job to find out how deep can we go. how many times do we take shots? And again, there's nothing worse than someone taking a deep shot. Now it's 2nd and 10. You put yourself behind the sticks too. So we just want to move the sticks and score touchdowns. I don't care how long, how short they are. We'll just take our slow guys out there and see if we can get a first down. That's the first thing.
Pat, is there a feeling in your practice facility that you guys aren't getting enough respect nationally?
You know what? I don't listen to it nationally, man. I don't look at ESPN. I don't look, as long as we have respect out of our local guys, that's all I care about. I don't care about the national. I don't have time to look at it. I told you I look at USA Today. That's about it. That's my favorite app, and they give nobody any respect. I guess they don't talk about it. I read the news. I see what's happening in the city of Louisville and all the tragedy down there. I see what's happening in the world. I don't see what's happening nationally in college football. I don't care. I really don't. I'll get a whisper of what's happening in Notre Dame and some of those football things that I need to know about when games get canceled. I'm aware of those things. Other than that, I don't watch any basketball. I don't see what's happening. I don't see who's winning. I don't even know who's in the NBA Finals. If there's an NBA Finals, I don't even know. I don't even look at it. I watch the Steelers, and I didn't watch the Steelers. I found out that they won the other day because Coach LaSalle told me and said that James had 106 yards. So that's all I care about is my guys, the Steelers, and our Panthers.
Pat, it's been a pretty emotional, I guess, 24, 48 hours in Louisville, like you mentioned. Is that the Breonna Taylor ruling? Is that something you've discussed with your team? And I'm sure it'll be an emotional game. I would assume for the Louisville team this weekend.
Yeah, we've had discussions. We're kind of locked into a football game right now, but we had a little bit of a discussion today. We have a leadership meeting every Thursday morning before our team meeting at 7:45, before an 8:15 team meeting today. So, we discussed that and some other issues just about what kind of impact we're trying to make in the community. So, that's something we touch on every Thursday with my Eagles.
Coach, you mentioned the little things that happened in the last 2 weeks that you said were fixable. Do you feel like you had a week of practice this week where you fixed some of those things?
Yeah, Kelly, you don't really know. You fix them. You really don't know until game day. They're fixed in practice. We didn't think we had a problem the week before. So you don't know until you see it. Again, the fixable things that stall drives out is act like you've been there before. Jordan Addison, a true freshman, catch the touchdown pass, and what's he do? Hands the ball to the official. We fall on a fumble and we got to spin it like we think we're in the NFL. And there's one guy that would never thought would do that was Deslin Alexander, but he did it. And there's things like that. The unnecessary roughness by Bryce Hargrove. Those are the things that shouldn't happen. That happen. Those are the things I'm really talking about. We're going to make mistakes in the game. You hope you don't have a busted coverage, but I don't see many busted coverage. That's why we coach every day. But I can't guarantee it. Sometimes there's busted coverage and no one sees it. Okay. We coach that every single day. There's busted coverage, but they didn't get you. Okay. When there's a busted coverage and they get you for 78 or whatever that was, 69 yards, that's when then it hits home. So those are the little things. And, we're not going to be perfect as coaches or players, and I don't expect that. But the ones that just stand out there, we should be able to line up and punt. We put a new punt formation in, we kick the ball, and then all of a sudden we got to punt again, twice. Those are the things that shouldn't happen. So there's been more focus on that. There's been more focus on our field goal team, our punt team, and again, just more on the discipline of how we play Pitt football.
At that middle linebacker race and training camp was a big one with Wendell Davis coming out on top. What have you seen from him these first couple weeks?
He's just been really sound. I don't think he's done anything spectacular that makes you go, whoa, yet. And again, Chase Pine's closing. Let me tell you that. Chase Pine's had a great week of practice as well. So, like I said, Wendell was really good in camp, and he's played a very, very solid game. He actually got, I think Wendell he wasn't a defensive player of the week last week, but I think he was a special teams player of the week for us as a team. We vote on that, not the media, not the national media. So he was our team's special teams guy, Wendell was. So he does a great job on special teams as well as on defense. So, and again, like I said, Chase Pine was really, he's had a great week as well. And Chase Pine's really good too.
Ed, I want to ask you about another linebacker. What makes Cam Bright good?
He's slow. He's got that Pitt slow speed. Okay. it's really his speed. His speed is really good. I mean, he's tough. He's athletic. He loves to play the game. I mean, he's a good athlete. I mean, I think that's what makes him good. And he knows what he's doing. Like most of our players that are able to start, they better know what they're doing. So he understands the defense. He's done it for a while. It's not his first rodeo, but he's got better speed than most of the white guys, the slow white guys we got, I guess, right? Like me.
Pat, you talked about watching the Steelers earlier. There's a lot of parallels with you guys. You're both 2-0. You both have 10 total sacks. They forced 4 turnovers. You guys have forced 5 turnovers. Has there been any talk about because you guys share the same facility? It's kind of eerily because they want to clean stuff up on offense. You want to clean stuff up on offense. You guys talk about any parallels and just kind of looking up to how they play?
No, but what I did talk to him about is maybe they could play on Friday night so I can see what we're going to get on Saturday. I mean, I got to lead the way. What if we only get 1 sack this week? What do we do? What the heck's going to happen on Sunday? But no, actually, I've kind of tried to stay away from the Steelers. They got business going on. Usually, I'd come off the field at least once a week and walk down the middle of their 2 fields, and I see Jeff's out there right now. Usually, I'd go say hello to him, but I've kind of been just very hesitant because I don't want to get into their bubble. I know they got stuff going on. Everybody's worried about their bubble, and I don't ever want them to say, how did I get it, or how did this guy get it? Maybe it was Narduzzi walked down the middle of the, So you just want to be smart and you don't want to have any problems that way, I guess. So it just, I've texted Coach Tom back and forth, but I've kind of just stayed away. Just I'm not going to go out there and hug James Conner. I'd like to always give him a hug. I'm looking out the window at him right now, but I wouldn't. We just haven't got that close right now. Which is really no fun. It's really no fun.
You talked about Wendell Davis on special teams, and I know DeMar's out there and a couple other starters. Is that because they want to be out there, or do you feel like you need to have your starters on those special teams?
It's a need and it's a want. I believe this. You want to have as many of your starters on there as possible. And I think as we get further near the end of the season, if you want to play in the NFL, you might want to be on special teams. It's like Maurice French, out with his with the Chiefs. He talked about I'm a special teams guy. I mean, is he an elite receiver right now? He's like, I'm making my hay on special teams, which is just a great message for our guys to know that you want to play in the NFL. If you're a first rounder, you probably don't have to play special teams, but if you're a second or third rounder, if you want to make a football team, you better be able to speak on special teams. You remember James Conner is just a freshman, as a rookie in the NFL. I mean, he's running down our kickoff team. He's like, man, I wish I would have, he was on the punt team. He's like, I wish I would have paid attention. I wish I was on that. It can make you better. So everybody wants to be a great receiver and a great corner and a great linebacker. That's why I've been so impressed with Sabassier as well. I mean, he runs down on special teams. I mean, he had a big bone hit last week, and just those guys. You want to have your best players on every. You want to win, get your best players on special teams.
Pat, I know you've been
practice this week that might we might see turn up on the field.
Say that, Jared.
Who stood out at practice this week that we might see turn up on the field that maybe hadn't played much before this week?
We played an ACC game last week, so I mean, I think you saw everybody that's going to play. I mean, I can't tell you there's going to be a whole lot of surprises. I mean, Danny Borrega's had a good week. I'm excited to see him maybe, catch a ball or two and make some plays because he's got great hands and he's tough. Other than that, really, I mean, status quo. There's no surprises. The cat's out of the bag already for most of them. Jordan Addison, he'll play receiver for us. That won't be a surprise.
All right, we saw DeMar modeling the uniforms, and that was very poignant. You got a Pittsburgh kid modeling them. He looked very happy doing so. Did you have that conversation with him about the importance of what it means?
Yeah, no doubt about it. I mean, I think we showed our kids the video of really the development of those uniforms and Nike and what it means to the city of Pittsburgh. So, and then obviously we chose DeMar to be that guy to model those. And he was fired up about it. So. We're looking forward to wearing those uniforms and really the pride of Pittsburgh and the Steel City. It's going to be fun to watch them in a different uniform.
Pat, I know you've been focused on Louisville, but I wanted to ask you a couple questions about recruiting. It just came down recently that the dead period is extending to the end of the year, and I know that's something you've kind of talked about a little bit on social media. You may have guys that are signing in December as things stand right now that have never visited your campus, and I want to get your thoughts on that, and as well about the blanket waiver. Have you had to talk to your guys and try to feel out some guys to try to figure out who is coming back, so you really know what your needs are going to be when you look at this class of 2021?
I'll start with the end of that conversation because I already forgot the beginning of that conversation. But as far as the needs, no, we haven't had that discussion. Hey, are you coming back next year? It's week. We just finished week 2, so we got plenty of time to figure that out. We've got a few commitments already, so we're not like going to change and say, oh, we're not taking you because he's coming back. To me, whoever stays is a bonus based on the new rules. Whoever stays is a bonus. Whoever leaves, is we were expecting him to leave. We brought a new guy in to take his scholarship. So that's what it comes back to. I mean, when you look at it, Jimmy Morrissey and Kenny Pickett could have another year. Wouldn't that be fun? So I mean, you look at it. We don't know, but we're still going to take another quarterback, and we're going to take an offensive lineman to fill Jimmy's spot, and we'll move on from there. And then what was the beginning, Alan? Sorry.
The possibility of having guys sign in December without having any visits.
Yeah. It's just I don't. Again, I still don't know why the NCAA made that decision so quickly. I mean, it's September. We already making a decision to be dead in October, November, December. It just, they've kind of done it month by month. All of a sudden, they just, took the whole fall and really shut. I feel bad for, I feel bad for our kids. I feel bad for all those recruits out there. I feel bad for everybody. The one rule is they can still come on campus. They have to purchase a ticket if there's fans in the stands. So that's the one thing they did. But, to me, why not? Let's just give the kids a ticket. I mean, why do we have to make them pay for it? Some kids can't pay for a ticket. So I still don't understand why that happened. They should come back with a rule that any kid that's committed to you can give them. Let's give them 2 tickets? How about that? Wouldn't that be nice? But the NCAA comes up with some rules sometimes that I wonder where they came. But it really hurts those kids. I mean, it hurts us. I mean, we're sitting here, we'd like to see them too. I mean, they'd like to see us. They'd like to see the city of Pittsburgh. They'd like to see Oakland. And what we have to offer, but we'd also like to see them and have that relationship that's hard to build over a Zoom call, FaceTime, or just a regular old telephone call. It's tough. It's tough on everybody, but it's 2020, and I think they're starting to get used to it. I signed a petition. I appreciate you guys if you signed that one petition that came through. I tweeted it out as well. Let these kids visit. I mean, I really don't understand the decision making, but there's a way of doing it safely. I think after the season is over in December with masks, the whole deal.
Pat, there's only 3 after this one. There's only 3 home games left. What's your sense of maybe you were talking about tickets a minute ago? What's your sense of getting people in the stands maybe for one of those 3 games?
You guys got any connections with the governor? It's just I guess I need to do a PSA with the governor, but just like to ask Governor Wolf if he'd please let us have a few fans in the stands. I mean, Governor, please, I plead. I feel bad for our kids. I mean, this is not you will look around the country and see people have fans in the stands, and he made a decision which is for the safety of everybody in Pittsburgh, which I agree with. But there's fans all over the country in stands, and we want to continue to be safe in Pittsburgh. I still want to make sure the numbers are going down, not going up. So I understand why he's done it, and I think there's a safe way to at least have our parents at a game. If we can get our kids' parents. My wife and kids can stay home. Our coach, it's not about them. It's about our kids and their parents being able to watch them play. Something they've done since they were Pee Wee football. And again, if Heinz Field's good enough and big enough to put, we could have 10 parents in each section and still be pretty. We could keep 60 feet distance and still be able to take care of our parents.
Do we have any final questions for Coach?